China is tough for foreigners.
A lot of people just have a lot of phlegm or they just...
Bathrooms are so hard.
I think I might disagree with you on
It was really the worst experience ever.
having the runs and trying to squat.
We had a Didi mishap.
The other thing that I would do differently is...
All right, so we are in the Cathay Pacific Business Class Lounge at San Francisco International Airport. And where are we going this time?
We're going to the Far East, to Shanghai.
We're actually gonna hop around a lot. My parents are already there with my extended family. And so they're all kind of in like one province in China, which is near Shanghai. And so we're gonna go from Shanghai to Suzhou to Huzhou and then visit my other relatives in Lanxi for a day and then go to Hangzhou before we go over to Hong Kong to meet with Jason's family. So it's gonna be a very interesting and eventful trip, I think. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting all your extended family. It's going to be fun meeting them. And then I bought a whole bunch of stuff on Taobao, so yeah, excited for that.
That's what he's looking forward to the most, honestly.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Taobao is like the Chinese, what would you, Amazon?
Yeah, Chinese Amazon.
Yeah. What are you buying on there?
Gundams.
Yeah, no surprise there. So yeah, we're gonna try a bunch of Hyatt hotels. We're gonna bring you along with us and yeah, we'll see how things go. China's very interesting. I've already downloaded, some of the super apps that you need to survive in China. I haven't been back in 6 years, and so it will be very, very interesting. And so this will be, like Jason said, it'll be his first time meeting some of my extended family. And then also when we go to Hong Kong with my parents, it'll be my parents' first time meeting Jason's mom and extended family. So yeah, it will be a very, very interesting trip. It'll be a very Hyatt rich trip, Hyatt dense trip. So hopefully, if you guys are into Hyatt hotels, it'll definitely be a really fun video to watch. I hope we'll have good experiences. We'll see.
Is that all we're doing? We're just staying at Hyatt hotels?
Pretty much. We're staying at hotels. I want to do one photo shoot. I want to do a Hanfu photo shoot. I mean, like we're recording this before everything happens. I don't even know what's going to happen yet because I haven't booked or planned anything. But I hope to do one Hanfu photo shoot. And so yeah, for all my friends out there who like to plan a lot of stuff, we don't plan much, like other than the hotel stays. I don't really have anything specific planned. They're just like ideas, but nothing concrete yet. So I am just there to do photo shoots and eat and see family, and you're just there to buy Gundams, yeah?
I'm here to see Shanghai for the first time. And Huzhou and Suzhou and Hangzhou and yeah, all the Zhous. And are we going to Langxi? Yeah.
And all the she's.
And all the Xis. Like Xi Jinping Xi.
But yeah, I mean, we're going to do probably the typical, touristy stuff. Like in Shanghai, we're going to go see the Pearl Tower. We're going to see the Bund. We're going to see Yuyuan. In Suzhou, we'll go see the canals and stuff. And Hangzhou will be staying by the West Lake. So it will be very interesting. And we'll be with family a lot. So I think it'll be very different from our usual trips, at least.
Yeah, I think we're more there for family. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. All right, so some departing thoughts on this trip now that we are at the end of it. It's going to be really funny to look at this versus when we began the trip in the Cathay Lounge at SFO. We're so excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting all your extended family. It's going to be fun meeting them. And then I bought a whole bunch of stuff on Taobao, so yeah, excited for that.
And now I am sick and tired, literally sick and tired. But yeah, lots of lessons learned on this trip. This trip has been like a lot of ups and downs, I think. A lot of mixed feelings about it, which is, I guess that's normal. But there was a lot of family time. For me, it was too much family time. I guess for you too, probably.
I love spending time with family. I don't know what you're
Yeah, and so not that I don't love my family, but I'm sure a lot of you can relate. I cannot do too much family time, and I learned that on this trip. I think there were just a lot of compounding factors that made it difficult to kind of move around independently. I do have to say, I don't know if you feel the same way. I feel that China is tough for foreigners. Even for me who speaks a little bit of Chinese and doesn't read well, it was tough. So I can imagine someone who's not even Chinese, doesn't understand any Chinese, and have never been to China. I think that would be really tough. A lot of things are not foreigner friendly. Apps are not foreigner friendly in terms of getting around, finding restaurants, food delivery, calling taxis, things like that. Chinese people are not like the most friendly or helpful. They're just all like trying to survive. There's so many people. It's not like Taiwan where people are going out of their way to help you. Don't get me wrong, like there are helpful people, but for the most part, people are just minding their own business. Like police officers are not that helpful. They're just like, yeah, whatever. And also, like all the payment system, everything's done on the phone. There are not a lot of places that take cash or cards. Like it's just not used as often. And so there's just a lot to get used to in China. There's also just so many people that they're just very like complicated systems sometimes, like calling taxis. You have to like look at large screens and there's just a lot of chaos. It is a lot for a foreigner. And so that was, I think, one of the big lessons learned for me. But we got to try some really nice hotels, but there were some also not as great hotels. Hopefully, you guys will see in all the reviews that we're going to do.
I think I might disagree with you on the really tough for foreigners. I mean, some aspects are hard, but I don't think it's that hard. I think like once you do it once, it's actually pretty easy. Like for example, calling a taxi, you can do it through the Didi app, and it's pretty convenient. I felt like pretty easy to use. I think not having Google Maps was kind of hard, but then you could use A Maps and some of the other stuff, which made it easier. Still not as convenient as using Google Maps, just because we're so familiar with it and you can see everyone's reviews and everyone's talking about it. And then I would say the payment system, I actually found that really easy to use as well and really convenient. Because it's all on your phone, you don't need to carry cash, you just have a balance, you can connect it to your WeChat or connected to your Alipay. I think the tough thing is setting it up at the start. So for example, like when I first set up WeChat Pay, it wasn't working because I had the location still in US, but after changing my location to China, then everything was working. So I think those little things kind of trip you up. But then for Alipay, I had to get verified, had to post my passport, picture of me, myself. And then it was all fine because I could connect it to a credit card and I could pay with everything essentially with it. So I think with that actually I feel makes it more accessible and easier for someone who's not familiar with sort of China to pay for stuff and buy things. And then I bought a whole bunch of stuff from Taobao, like really good as Amazon. And then one of my packages got lost. And then so I was chatting with the person in English, and then they sent me a replacement one. So yeah, I think those things make it easy. I think what I didn't like as much is just like a lot of people still smoke. And I don't know if it's just the areas that we went to, but yeah, even in some indoor areas, people would be smoking. And so when sometimes you walk into the hallway, you just smell sort of lingering smoke. And then a lot of people just have a lot of phlegm or they just hack a lot. And they just randomly spit everywhere, literally everywhere. Maybe it's just the, one or two people that I saw. One person was spitting indoor in the enclosed area of a train station and they just like spat on the ground. It was just really weird for me to see.
Hey, what did you just say?
That some random old dude just spat in the terminal, like.
Baby, this is China. Are you still
But
not
we're
there?
indoors.
There's a rice cooker next to us right now with bags of clothes. This is
Yeah, I mean
China.
that I can understand, but
Really?
that's like you. Yeah, and then I think the concept of personal space is a bit different. The sphere of your personal comfort zone is a lot smaller. Maybe because there's just so many people here, so you kind of expect people to be in a closer proximity of you. So often I felt that people were encroaching in my personal space, but that was just normal in China, and that took a bit of getting used to for me.
What did you say?
So, yeah, there's no concept of personal space. Just then when I was going down the stairs with two suitcases, I was just like, fuck this. I just keep walking straight down and bulldoze everyone. And then my luggage started hitting everyone. And then, yeah, they didn't even turn around or get annoyed. It's just like part of it. So
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't get annoyed when it happens to me. It's just
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
Other than that, I did enjoy the trip. Yeah, there's a lot of contextual assumed knowledge and skills I think you kind of have to learn very quickly to get by. But once you get that, then I think it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think what I mean is there's a steep learning curve, right? One, for sure, you need to do your research as a foreigner and recognize that there are probably going to be some mishaps and difficulties in asking for help. Second, is just in terms of relative to traveling to other places, it's like not as intuitive because the system is just so different in many ways in terms of the apps, in terms of language, in terms of things like that.
Comparing it to
Yeah,
let's say Japan
yeah,
and Korea.
like it's definitely harder. And I think we have to acknowledge like we had a leg up in a lot of ways. Like I have family there, so they could transfer, WeChat money to us. But I guess we could have used Alipay too. But there was like, it was really easy with WeChat because you could use the WeChat mini apps and things like that when you have the WeChat money.
Or you could use the mini apps in Alipay.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess in the end, maybe you figured out the Taobao stuff on your own. But like, I guess my family was trying to help you, and also obviously you had a place to deliver your Taobao stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I think our experience was definitely a little bit different because we did have a lot of help. China is definitely one of those places where I would recommend staying at a Western style hotel where they do speak a lot of English and offer you a lot of help. I think I would recommend, like, for convenience, to book tours and things like that with a company, unless you're extremely adventurous. But for convenience, I think that would be better to have someone take you around and explain things to you in English and to be able to help translate for you or guide you and things like that. I think the one thing I really liked about the Lila was like they actually give you like a concierge person in their WeChat and you can like ask them questions and they can help you. And so I think in China that is really useful compared to other countries. Like we're actually pretty adventurous. We're not usually people who really enjoy hotel breakfast or ask the hotel for a lot of help in organizing things or figuring things out. But I think China is one of those places where it's at least helpful to have that resource if you need it. And then also, yeah, cleanliness. I mean, I don't know. I guess I knew this because I've lived in China. Yeah, there's no personal space. There's no concept of lines.
What?
I thought we were lining up, and then we line up, and then as soon as the train comes, everyone just comes like crashing in.
There's no such thing as lines in China, baby. It's just a free for all.
People are not even like doing it intentionally. I think somehow it's just like the culture when they cut you, like they don't even, like not everybody, but like some people don't even realize they're cutting you. It's just literally they're like, okay, well, you're not going, so I'm gonna go now. And then for me, aside from the cleanliness and the smoking situation, bathrooms are so hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I cannot.
Skill.
Yeah, like
The squat
it's
toilets,
one of my biggest fears,
yeah.
like being out in China is just like what is the next bathroom gonna be like? And I hoard so many napkins and tissues in my pockets because you don't know if the next bathroom is gonna have toilet paper, and like I end up holding my bladder a lot because I don't want to use a squatting toilet. That is a part that I'm never gonna get used to because it's not even about like whether or not the bathrooms are modern, because like even places where you have modern bathrooms, either most or all of them are squatting toilets because Chinese people think sitting toilets are really dirty, and so they don't even want to use sitting toilets. And so I think there's less of an incentive to like build bathrooms with sitting toilets, so it's just really challenging.
Yeah, definitely. If you're planning a trip to China, practice squatting. Just for one whole week, just practice squatting to do your business.
If not, like look for disabled toilets. Yeah, my family thought it was so funny, like I had to use disabled toilets and stuff, but yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and maybe just take some diuretic medicine. Is that how you, what do you call it?
Anti-diarrhea?
Anti-diarrhea medicine, in case you do get the runs, and then yeah, because I did in China.
In squatting.
In squatting toilets. That's a story for another time. But yeah, that was a challenge. Having the runs and trying to squat. Yeah.
So overall, it was a really educational, interesting trip. I'm like already thinking about what I would do differently. I think one of the mistakes was like we moved around way too much for our own preferences for how we like to travel. Yeah, we moved around way too much for the number of days we were there. I think the next time I would just like pick a base and then just stay there and do day trips. And now we know which hotels we like. I really liked Alila Shanghai. We really liked Park Hyatt Suzhou. I think, Alila Shanghai would be probably a more practical base. But yeah, that's one thing I would change. I don't think I would stay in China so long. Definitely have more time to explore. I think this time was just mainly for like family, but I definitely want to explore more now that we have the basic knowledge of how to get around. And I think it'll be easier in big cities like Shanghai. And maybe like whenever we're in another East Asian country, we can pop over for a short amount of time, or we'll just go for a week. Those are the main things I would do differently. What do you think? What would you want the next trip to look like in terms of being different from this trip?
I think one of the new rules that we'll definitely do for all travel now is our first mode of transport coming out of the airport after, a 10 plus hour flight is to book a driver.
Yeah.
Even if it costs a bit more, like, I think it's really worth it because you're coming out of the flight, you're really tired, you're carrying a whole bunch of stuff. Unless you're really familiar and you've been there many times, like it would make sense to choose whichever mode, public or whatnot. But yeah, I think having a driver there just to pick you up, help you with some of the luggage, you don't need to think, they just usher you to the car. I think that's something that we'll do.
Yeah, we had a Didi mishap. I didn't really do a lot of research. Like, I just knew, like, okay, I have WeChat money, I have access to Didi. And then we initially thought about booking a pickup with Klook, but it looked way more expensive than just hailing, a ride. And so we decided to try it, and it was really the worst experience ever. I think as your first time in China, first time using rideshare in China, don't let it be at like a busy airport right after you land. It was so chaotic. My internet was not working properly in terms of searching like for where we were, locating us. And then the driver kept on saying he couldn't find us, and it was so exhausting. After that failed, we then had to go like all the way around the airport and go find the regular taxi lane, and the regular taxis are very like smelly and dirty. And so yeah, I definitely regretted that and wish we had just booked the Klook pickup for a bit more, and that would have been much more convenient. If you're gonna try using Didi, I would definitely spend the extra like $1 or $2 for Didi Premium, where it's like a nicer car, a more like responsive, polite driver in a suit who will help you, with your luggage. And the car is just cleaner and nicer and newer and does not smell like smoke. Yeah, that's something we learned along the way and got used to.
The other thing that I would do differently is I would buy more things on Taobao.
What?
And that's it. I don't have anything more to say.
Okay.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, thanks for being here with us. And I guess, yeah. All right. Bye-bye. That room was amazing. Are we going to talk about the Huzhou Hotel?
If you're staying at this hotel, you're probably staying for the view.
Maybe because it's hyped up so much online. The floor that we were on smelled like smoke. I definitely get the hype. I thought it would feel very spacious, but it actually didn't.
All the hotels are kind of merging in my head now.